and getting the best of Peter Alfano, which is a pretty hard task to do. This puck will be chipped in deep. Keegan Elliott now has it along the near wall. Keegan Elliott fans on the outlet pass, and Gagnon now has to retrieve. Griffin Gagnon trying to evade Mitchell Goodman. Now Mason Wright fans on the outlet, and now a turnover. Here's Wilkerson, moves it over. Goodman shot, saved by Ketchum. It's lofted into the air. And Connor Gilkson whiffed on the chance as the puck went about 20 feet into the air. Goodman, rink wide, moves it over for the guys in white tonight at 6th best. Off the draw, it's chipped up, and now Wilkerson will fire it down. Cole Brown gets after it. Cole Brown has to sidestep his own man in Miller, and now Carson Curry will get it to the blue line with Rosselli. Rosselli feeds to the front of the net, turned aside by Alfano. And now Trent Madura has it at the blue line. Rink wide for Miller. Gets it to point with Brown. Brown able to shuffle to Miller. Goes over to Curry. Curry's shot blocked by Alfano, and it ends up into the lights. A sliding Slawinski, saved by Ketchum. What a save by Matthew Ketchum to go post to post and deny Glenn Farmer of an equalizer. Here's Gilkson. Gilkson short side. That's moved aside, and the net comes off its moorings as Ketchum, his response to that early goal has led to a lot of close opportunities. Glenn Farmer having one just now. Farmer, a returner to this Norwich squad, was second in goals for them last year. Below the goal line with it is Tony Morran. He spins it, trying to find in the slot there was Aiden Rady. Now fight for it in the corner. Gilkson tried to come away with it. Gagnon able to chip it off the glass and out of the zone. This will trickle all the way down for icing, and Binghamton will be unable to change. Now Carson Curry goes to work on the forecheck with Tony Morran. Morran finds Neeson. Neeson has to dodge a kneeling Slawinski, who gets away in that shot, and it's covered by Ketchum. Keegan Elliott hits it along the boards. Malik Powell couldn't get to it quick enough, and now Zukowski looks for an outlet. Evan O'Byrne gets it along the boards. Wilkerson trying to find Kritsan on the zone entry. Instead, Glenn Farmer will just get it deep. And now a big opportunity here for Norwich. Morran, his shot off the side of the post. Morran wants it again. He moves in, his shot, that one blocked by Gagnon. Gagnon looking for a shorthanded opportunity. Now Glenn Farmer with it the other way. Farmer moves along the, tries a wraparound, and he scores. Glenn Farmer off the wraparound of the Sea Captains had 4 goals in his last 5, and now 5 goals in his last 6, including today. Bernard's shot off the draw, high off the glass. Still 5-on-4 power play here for Norwich, trying to even things up. Trent Madura able to flick it down. Alfano will control and leave it for Morran. Morran breezes through center. Moves it off Bernard. Up top to Wilkerson. Wilkerson gets a shot to the far side. That one just wide. Wilkerson has it at the point. Now Bernard. Disrupted there by Gagnon. And now Wilkerson has it at the blue line. His wrister right into the pads of Ketchum. Left in the first period. And now off the draw, here's Miller. Miller's shot turned aside by Alfano. Here's Wilkerson. Wilkerson's shot, that one's blocked. Miller able to chip it off the glass, trying to find DiMatteo at center ice, and Heath and Jack Steffen there unable to get it on their tape. Might have had a 3-on-2. DiMatteo the other way. Can't get it on his stick. No icing called. Morran will spin it back around. Heath has it on the half wall. Feeds to the opposite corner. DiMatteo looking back door. Took a hit there from Andrew Hill. Now Bernard leaves a trailing pass. That shot into the glove of Ketchum from Lewis Allenson. .332. Glenn Farmer able to sidestep Gagnon, but Keegan Elliott there to clean it up. Elliott tried to stretch pass for Heath as the two sides go back and forth at center ice. Off the glass, Gagnon able to hit it down. Wilkerson bats it to keep it in the offensive zone, but not for long. Miller the other way. Miller puts on the brakes, finds DiMatteo to the backhand. He scores! DiMatteo, upper 90, and he has a hat trick in upper 90 beauty off the backhand. Off the draw, Mitchell Goodman trying to find an outlet. Gilkson couldn't control it. Now Keegan Elliott moves it over DiMatteo. Tries a zone entry with Miller, couldn't find anyone there. Keegan Elliott moves it over to his pair in Griffin Gagnon. And now a turnover in front. Shot fanned on there by Wilkerson. A dangerous turnover led to a Wilkerson missed shot. Deflection off Miller wipes out icing. It's whipped around the boards. Aiden Rady tries a slip pass for Gilkson. Tony Morran will just feed back to Keegan Elliott. Elliott puts this one on frame, and Alfano elects to freeze it. And 0 at 31 points, second in the West, and the Texas Brahmas. This one winds up going all the way down. Tony Morran controls. Wilkerson loses his stick, collects it for a shot. That was the Breckenridge, Colorado native. Started his season with the Rochester Grizzlies, played 2 games for them, and then now has played 21 games for Kevin Cunningham's Norwich Sea Captains. Evan O'Byrne hits this one past the stick of Morran, who he sends crashing into the boards. Cole Brown couldn't quite keep it in. And now maybe a breakaway opportunity as a Sea Captain goes down, and we get a stop in play. We hope he's all right. We will continue play now, and a double minor assessed to Cole Brown for that high sticking penalty. Off the draw, it's sent the length of the ice. So a big opportunity here for Norwich. If they can score in these first 2 minutes, they'll have another 5-on-4 to maybe try and even things up. Morran. Neeson wants it. Neeson gets it. His wrister through traffic. That one blocked in front. Colin Kritsan giving the thumbs up to his teammates behind the Norwich bench. Now offsides called. 5:30 gone by here in the second period. It's kicked off the draw by Rosselli. Binghamton will control. Curry feeds front of the net, trying to find Rosselli. Follow-up, Gagnon. He scores! Griffin Gagnon, shorthanded, makes it. The Ottawa native had 2 goals and 5 assists in his last 5 games and adds to that total here tonight. .20 seconds to go now in the man advantage for Norwich. What has been a disastrous power play. What looked like an opportunity to maybe even tie it up with a double minor penalty will actually end in a bigger deficit. Neeson shot into the gut of Ketchum. Tony Morran able to keep it in for Norwich. Now a puck battle in the corner. Trent Madura almost came away with it. And Gagnon does. Aidan Rady trying to get a big hit there on Keegan Elliott. Wilkerson got spun around there by Rosselli at center. And now a turnover by Binghamton deep in their own zone yet again. Aidan Rady tries to find Neeson, can't do so. Chipped over to Curry. Carson Curry moves in. Feeds to the front of the net as Wilkerson took down Madura. Away from the puck. Rosselli has it along the half wall. Sends it over to Curry. Curry moves in. Wraparound, not there. Follow-up. Scores! Jack Steffen. And it looks like the puck went off the netting on the Glenn Farmer gets it on the near side wall. Gilkson gets it below the goal line. Here's Farmer in front of the net. That one turned aside by Ketchum. Follow-up just wide. Ketchum having to come at least 6 feet out of his net. Now a slap shot from the blue line. That one kicked aside by Ketchum. Clear isn't there. Morran keeps it in, moves it back over. Wilkerson has to sidestep, and it winds up getting out of the zone. Jason DiMatteo did just enough. With 3:56 left in the second period, Norwich looking for a response to what has been now 3 unanswered goals from the Buzz. Now a turnover. Here's Carson Curry. His shot off the glove of Alfano. Alfano still standing tall, thwarting another chance. Gagnon will hit it off the boards for Heath below the goal line. 50 seconds to go here in the second period. Binghamton maybe trying to extend their lead yet again. Stretch pass there for Farmer, couldn't find his stick. Now Keegan Elliott looks to break out. Finds Gagnon, who gets it through his skates. Gagnon moves down the wing, feeds back door, can't get it on Heath's stick. And the follow-up chance is covered by Alfano with 30 seconds left. Evan O'Byrne tries to spin it below for Matthew Zukowski, who's badgered by Gilkson. DeMarco has it. DeMarco moves to the front of the net, tried to find O'Byrne, who is tied up. And now 2-on-1 the other way. Tries a slip pass. That one turned aside off the stick of Wilkerson. And as time expires, it's a good thing. Deep into the zone, Mitchell Goodman on the forecheck. Wilkerson now has it. Slap shot, that one a buzzsaw high of the net. And now Ethan Miller lost his edge. We'll just try and flick it deep to Heath. Miller gets it back. And now Tony Morran controls. Looked for an outlet. Was blocked by his own teammate, but they do get it out of the zone. Binghamton elects to change, as Norwich needs to quickly find their way back into this one. Down 4, here's Andrew Hill. Hill is squeezed to the boards there by Victor Slowinski. And now Mason Wright able to hit it up off the boards to Hamlin. New Hampshire, and then 2 at home against the Junior Mountain Kings. Then they will take on the Northeast Generals, and then a rematch. Owen McAllister lays a big hit. And now a takedown on Wilkerson. No call behind the play. Very interesting to see that, as the head official was almost staring at it. And now we'll break out the other way. Glenn Farmer in alone. Farmer, his shot off the blocker of Ketchum. So the first marker for Norwich tonight was courtesy of a 5-on-3. That was Glenn Farmer back in the first period. But they will need to capitalize on a 5-on-4 to make their way back into this one, down 3 and under 12 minutes to go. Tony Moran slap shot, that one wide. Cole Brown sends this one down the length of the ice. Here's Morran the other way. Morran moves it over Bernard. Puts on a spin move on Curry. Moves it up top to Wilkerson. Bernard gets it back. Slap shot from Wilkerson. Didn't get that one on the right part of his stick. Went right off the heel. And now the puck exits the zone. Morran has it again. Binghamton able to get a partial change. That shot, wrister just wide on the toe drag from Bernard. And now this pass from Morran can't find the stick of Wilkerson in the zone. And then 2 goals to each side. The Nordiques finished that game 0 for 9 on the power play, and the Generals 0 for 4 as well. Now a shot turned aside. Looking to the front of the net was Soboleski. Joey Rosselli breaks out with it. Possible 3-on-2 developing, but he takes a tumble on the near side. And now Tony Morran, wearing that C for Norwich, will try and direct traffic as the Sea Captains down 3 with under 7 to go, trying to find their way back into this game. Loose right next to the net. Soboleski and Keegan Elliott fight for it. Rosselli will dump it deep. Fanning on the outlet was Harrison Ranger. Has 2 forechecking Sea Captains in his face in Neeson and Bernard. Gets a deflection off Sikowski, and Alfano will cover it. Binghamton wins the draw. Gagnon tried to keep it in. Now Bernard breaks out with it the other way. Drop pass intended for Ian Buckley. And now Wilkerson's feed turned aside by Ketchum. Buckley trying to put on the moves in the corner. Wilkerson has it, moves it over Morran. Morran slap shot. That one buzzed wide. Buckley feeds Wilkerson at the top again. His slap shot. That one high. 3 minutes to go now here in the final frame of regulation on the front, and it ends up behind the net. Ryan Bernard looking for his second, and this one will be touched up for icing. Off the draw, Soboleski has it behind the net. Looking, surveys, feeds up top, Morran. Tony Morran loses at the skates of Carson Curry. Peter Alfano staying put for now. Jack Steffen tries to put on the brakes there. Ends up losing his balance. Cutting to the front of the net, can't find the stick. And Wilkerson slap pass, looking for a deflection off Soboleski, couldn't get it. Harrison Ranger feeds up top, Morran can't keep it in. Binghamton eager to change.